Welcome to The Experience Today, where we explore the fascinating intersections of psychology, the human experience, and American politics.
Welcome, good evening, and welcome everybody. Sorry about the technical delay. Had some audio technical delays, relays, all kinds of stuff going on here. Legalized mumbo jumbo, as I like to call it. But we're not going to waste any time. You know me, you know Val. We talking revolution, and that's what it's going to be all about the revolution. What are we doing, Miss Val? What are we doing?
We're having a revolution of computers this evening, so why not? We can have revolutions with everything.
Freaking AI.
Freaking AI, yeah. It seems this is interesting, but I actually saw something today that all these people were giving sort of AI talks at end of school year, and they were getting booed by the students. And I think that that's a big revelation or a revolution, because here they are, these young people, in their late teens and early 20s saying, hey, you're going to bring in AI? How are we ever going to get jobs? How is this going to affect us the rest of our lives? We don't want this. And, the reason they feel that way is because of the revolution that's been going on the past 2 years. I mean, all these young people are starting to see is we've been lied to. The revolution started with last night, Chipotle's, the teenagers. Have you ever seen anger and misbehavior? Did you see that video by any stretch?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the hot garbage. Believe me.
Yep. And it's like, I can't even imagine being that age and seeing something like that happening. It's just unthinkable to me. But the revolution it's live. Remember when we did a show a couple of years back about Gil Scott-Heron, the revolution will not be televised, the revolution will be live? It is.
Right.
It is live.
Yes,
it's
it
what
is.
everybody is seeing right now. Like, they're showing us that they butchered our children's bodies.
Yeah.
They're showing us what jihad and communism is. We're seeing this every frickin' day in one form or another. They're showing us what Big Pharma did to all these violent, I will say trannies, because it seems that whenever these synagogues or schools or whatever the shoot up is, it seems to be mostly people on all these mind altering drugs.
Right.
And, the revolution is live. And even if you don't watch television, you don't have to put the TV on anymore to see it. It's right out your front door. It's right in all the cities. It's right there. I heard Austin today was up in flames, insane, and that's a liberal city. Well, that figures, right? We've all figured out we're being robbed in terms of our money and the IRS and seeing where our money, hardworking money and taxes are going. That's really very painful to people. And I don't know what else we need to see to realize that we are actually looking at a real live revolution. However, we're not seeing guns yet. We're not seeing explosions yet. And I say yet because we don't know. Not that I think, it would turn into that, but we don't know.
Right.
We may have to defend ourselves. But, the only thing I look at in this revolution is how are we going to get out of it? How on so many levels are we fighting all the different aspects of the revolution that we're in right now? And it's happening on social media for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it is. And my fear is that everything we see, the people who have turned off the media and said, I'm not listening to this crap anymore, they're being lied to by omission. They don't see what we're seeing. So there's only
That's exactly right.
part of the public that knows what's going on, and the other part is just living their lives and ignoring everything, which is dangerous. It's kind of like, can you clap your hands with one hand?
I'll try.
You could try. You could take your hand and hit it on the side of your head, or smack yourself in the ass, or yeah, you could do a lot of things with one hand, right?
Clap your feet. Use your foot.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. You know, I wanted to bring up something because part of this revolution is getting all gaslit. You know that, I know that, we all know that, the gaslighting that goes on every day. And especially with Trump, you know, he's so visible and so hated and so looked down upon, and at the same time so looked up to, depending on who you are, who you talk to. And he has had a lot of his own revolutions with people, with politicians, and who he endorses tends to win. Who he picks a fight with tends to lose. And I'm just using that word tends. And I am very aware. I was surprised when all of a sudden, now I'm just going to say this because when Trump comes out with something on Truth Social and out of almost nowhere, he's slamming the shit out of a fellow politician. It started with Elon Musk, it went to MTG, it went to DeSantis, all these things out of nowhere. And just yesterday or the day before, it was Massey. Now, it's so easy to put a label on it and say, oh, he did that because it was a Democrat. He did that because it was a libertarian. He did that because it was a rhino. I was listening very carefully last night because when I see these major flaming arguments between Trump and anybody, I step back, and I'm really even asking everybody to do this on some level, just to consider doing this. I step back and I say, what's really going on here? What's happening here? And I heard through the grapevine, and I'll use the word allegedly because we don't know yet, I heard that Massey was taking PAC money from our enemies. And you best believe if Donald Trump finds that out in the middle of us fighting our enemies right now on so many levels, it should be without question that he is going after something that somebody did, not because they are black, white, libertarian, Democrat, blah, 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 all the labels we've talked about for years. There's a good reason behind this, and just step back and wait a while before condemning. And that's the Bongino rule I learned years ago, and it still holds true with everything. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she took off to Costa Rica, stole God knows how many millions of dollars while she was in the government before she left. And now all of a sudden her new-to-be husband, Brian Glenn, whoop, he's gone out of RAV. Gee, I just moved to Costa Rica. There's a whole pattern here. And if we could all step back and not prejudge what comes out on us in a moment's notice, we'd be a lot better off. We'd be a lot calmer. Not that I'm calm, but I'm just saying, it looks to me like Massey did something other than just oppose something Donald Trump wanted. It's just not that simple. It's never that simple. He was out there today saying Thune is doing a good job. Meanwhile, back at the farm, I heard, these are just what I heard last night, he's considering Sidney Powell for Bondi's position, which I think would be fabulous because what's his name that's in there now, the temp. He was a Democrat and he worked under Obama. What's his name? The AG we have now.
Todd Blanche.
Confused. Yes, thank you, Todd Blanche. He's someone who's questionable, and if Sidney Powell, Kraken, who knows the whole 9 yards of this whole thing that went down with the election, good, bring her in. I also heard rumors yesterday that Thune was going to get replaced, even though he came out and said the nicest things about him today.
Here's the problem. How do you replace Thune? He's not even up for re-election.
Rick Scott. Well, we see, these are the things we don't know, but I hear that they're in operation.
See, because here's the thing. Because here's the thing, right? Even with Thune, right? Thune is the majority leader, right?
I know.
You can't. The president has nothing to do with replacing him. The conference has to replace him.
Okay.
The Republican conference in the Senate has to replace him. He has no fingers in that. And if he is putting his fingers on that, I'll give him the smoke for that because he's not supposed to be anywhere down in there in the legislative branch doing any of that. That's unethical.
I don't.
Right.
Again,
right.
I don't know how this stuff works. I'm just that it opens me up when I hear this stuff to consider
Right.
that disinformation is necessary, and there's a lot going on that we don't know. Like right now, for real, that we don't know, and we're not supposed to know, and the media is just sort of, going after us, using us as emotional pawns.
Right.
So, if Massey did something that was wrong, and I don't mean wrong in the sense that, he didn't vote for what I wanted. No, I don't think that's it at all. Anyway, I don't know, does anybody know if Paxton came through tonight?
I'm not sure. I'll look.
Yeah, I'm not
he
sure either.
He should. Paxton. I mean, he really did it. He didn't need Trump's endorsement. I mean, he's well loved across Texas. Well loved.
Unless they stole it. That's the only.
Well, I mean, Cornyn would have to steal it, right? That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
A Republican stealing from another Republican, that'd be crazy.
Well, I don't think so. The hatred for Trump with the rhinos is pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true too. Hold on, let's just see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're capable of, but so one of the really revolutionary things that Paxton is doing is the Texas Children's Hospital that is detransitioning children.
Yep.
And think about that. Think about how we even got to this place where this man had to come through and start bringing children back to their original.
Oh, the runoff for that is not until the 26th. But their early voting started today.
Oh, it was early voting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I know there was something going on in Kentucky today. It's hard to keep up with it all. There's so much going on, it's hard to keep up with it all. But the revolution is real either way, with no matter who is getting voted on or put in or leading or any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what we saw in England this past weekend with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was outstanding, and it should be a direct message to us here in the United States. That is a revolution of an example of people who were so kind and so nice and allowed all these illegal immigrants to move on in and take over their country to a point where they have no way to fight. They have no guns. They have no
Nope.
freedom of speech anymore. Like the whole thing has been eroded. Their whole government is being run by Muslims. It sickens me, actually. It makes me feel sick inside that that's happening. And, you know, here we are. And we have the same thing happening, only it's going to happen faster than it did over there. I mean, how long, I can't say that I was following England per se, just, you know, little dribs and drabs of it. I followed Tommy Robinson. That man is he's intense. He just gets put in jail, comes out and does the same thing all over again. He's a fighter. But the move into England and France and Germany seems to me, and I'm using the word seems to me a slower, more methodical transition than what's happening here. Maybe I'm wrong, because it could have started under Obama and we didn't see it. And we were all about, oh my God, you know, racism. You can't say anything about anybody's, God forbid, religion or culture, or, you know, you'll be a racist, you'll be something. So we've all backed down and tried to be nice. But look at the world. I'm thinking it doesn't pay to be that nice, does it? So I think what we do know is that there are Muslims, and we probably all know some of them, that are really nice, good people. But we also can see, and this is part of the revolution, we can also see, why aren't they stepping out and dealing with their people? Why did they leave their countries without fighting? The answer is because they are so frightened to death of people who kill their own people.
Yep.
Here's the difference. And now we're in a position, well, so is Europe, but we are in a position in our country where we have to fight this. The good Muslims didn't fight it. They came here to run away from it. And now we are really invaded by these people that want to have, let's see, parallel court system, Sharia court and American court. How's that work? How's that going to work? Let's see. I'm a woman. I'm married. If I need to get a divorce, I can get an American divorce, but Sharia courts, no. My husband will get my children. I will have nothing. I will probably be killed. I will be sent out to pasture and buried somewhere. I mean, how is it that American people and women don't see this for what it is? Where are the pink hats? Show me where you are, right?
Right.
Come on up to the microphone. I want to hear you. I want to see you. I want to know what you're thinking about how you're going to survive with all your freedoms and rights taken out from underneath your feet Well, so here's our revolution. We're being forced to confront the failures of uncontrolled immigration. And that's going to take.
But how do we face that when we can't even stop the federal government from overspending? Like, how do we? I guess my question: how do we fight? Right? Because you make a good point. How do we? What the heck just happened? Okay, there we go. Okay.
How do we fight the funding?
Yeah, because the thing, well, because you're talking about immigration, right? So, how do we have to fight the throes of immigration here, right? But we can't even stop the federal government from overspending, which they give the money to the NGOs to propagate the illegal immigration. So, how do we stop, right? Something that the budgeting process should eliminate, and us not allowing the federal government to overstep in that.
How about we crash the whole banking system, shut down the IRS, and this is part of the EBS that they've been talking about, that we have to be responsible for having enough food, water, cash, all of our necessary needs in advance of this happening. Our financial system is going to crash. This is part of what is so big, guys. I listen to these financial, spiritual advisors and military. Like, actually, they're all three. They're financial, spiritual, military people. The shows I'm addicted to. And there is definitely a process coming about that we're going to be, for a while, running a parallel system. Not just about like, well, you spend your money here, but don't support these businesses. No, it's much more intense than that. It's that they're going to overspend and overspend to the point where it's all going to fall down. And we have to be prepared and patient, because what I'm hearing is that Space Force and the satellite systems that are out there are going to take over when that happens. But there's going to be a short period of time, that 10 days of darkness. I can't say exactly what it is, but I've had an experience in my own head of what it is and what it's going to look like. And we have to take down the banking system for all of what you just said to end, to go away. It's the only way. The only way. Because we can only go after like care. We can only go after the Leering centers. We can get all of our new government officials in. But really? Are we going to have to stop the whole welfare program, the Medicaid, Medicare program? Yeah, for a short period of time, we're going to have to take it all down. I don't see another. Yep. Yeah. You really want yours?
No,
all right, we'll keep you.
no.
We'll keep yours going. Yeah, we'll keep
right.
yours going.
All
yeah.
right, keep my Leering Center going. And
Yeah,
that
'cause we know
center, but my center is spelled CENTRE. So I'm a Leering
yes.
Center. Yeah.
As long as you spell it wrong, then no one will figure out what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, look, in Denmark right now, they're stopping all immigration. They stopped it. There's a number of countries that are stopping it. They're smaller countries, though. It's easier. our country is, it's so vast and it's gone so far for so long. Since Obama, I'm thinking, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking, that's where my mind takes me. You know, I was thinking about, like when I was younger, I don't think I knew too many foreigners, so to speak, compared to what we see today in this country. I mean, there were Puerto Ricans in New York City. Chinese people were in Chinatown, obviously, but I don't think I ever met. I didn't meet Cubans till I moved here to Florida, and I love them. And I met Mexicans, and I think when I came here is when I was much more exposed to other cultures and other people. And, you know, in particular, I didn't really have a problem until the past maybe 6 years, when I started to feel threatened and started to feel like this doesn't make me as a woman very comfortable. I mean, there's people here now from all over the world, and they're here illegally. And the world has shifted and changed to a very, and I think the only way we're ever going to take this down is civil war. What did people have during the Civil War? Didn't have banks, did they? Or not?
Yeah, there's a banking system.
There was a banking system, but there wasn't
taxes. But it was private, right? It was private.
Yeah, yeah. There was tariffs and there was silver coins and gold coins, and I think that we have to go to a gold and silver backed currency. Our currency has to have value. And
Sayonara
right now,
Fed Reserve, buy Fed Reserve.
Oh,
that's where that
happily
goes.
Because we're living like slaves. I mean, look at all of us. We're slaves to the government. And we've been slaves all our lives, only we didn't realize it. Not in the true sense of the word, but we're all of us financial slaves to the government, to the banking system, and it sucks. And so the question that you asked of how we're going to take all this down, that's our revolution. We have to be able to survive for a bit of time without charge cards and maybe access to grocery stores, and just be prepared, because I want to take down this system. And in order to take down this financial system, we have to be able to survive a little bit of time and have the patience and know why this is happening. I mean, can you just picture all the people that have no clue, clueless, and accuse us of being conspiratorial and that we're making all this shit up? And, you know, all of a sudden, the banking system crashes, and there's no credit cards and no gas stations and there's no supermarkets, and they're just going to perish. They're going to freak out and perish because there's only 1 quart of milk in the refrigerator and 1 can of tuna fish, and they were totally unprepared for this. But we're the lucky ones because we know if everything goes black, we're going to be able to say, okay, it's happening. The new system is coming into fruition. Our new system is being born right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to be okay. Listen, I have to go there and believe that, because otherwise the whole thing makes no sense. Because you're right. How would we ever make this right by electing people? No. Yeah, Mike Lindell could win Minnesota. That'll be a hoot, right? Great. Be the governor. Perfect. He knows what time it is. This guy Pratt could win in California. Maybe Zoran could get thrown out of our country, and maybe Ilmar will get thrown out of our country. But there's new ones that'll crop up right behind them. I mean, it doesn't, all of the good things that have their possibilities right now doesn't correct how deep the mess is and how deep the web is and how deep the swamp is. It is all about the money. It always has been. Yeah. So oh, are you? Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I just wanted to bring forth that the Rothschilds are losing their control
Oh
with
yeah,
our
100%.
with our health system, with our banking system, with their weather bullshit that they've been pulling on us with the climate garbage and staging all these direct energy weapons, burning houses down and creating massive hurricanes and all this horror we've been living with. So it's all going to come down and stop. It really is. We just have to go inside and inside ourselves, where God is.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. We have to. Miss Val, thank you as always. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Sorry to everybody. We started a little bit later than we were intended to because of technical difficulties, but we were here to give a little something to you, as I like to say, a little something. Guys, please make sure follow us on the Patreon. Make sure you're checking out torchlibertymedia.com and ultimately notamendmentproject.org. Make sure you are doing that. Checking out what we're doing. If there's anything you need the Not the Amendment Project to address, legislation or executive orders, things of that nature, I don't care if it's state level or local level or federal level, let me know. You know how to get a hold of me to do it. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And remember, everybody, love yourself. We'll see you on Friday, y'all. Southern Liberty will be in the building. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.